If I had to pin down the two genres of music video game lovers tend to gravitate to the most, it would be metal and electronic. There's a surprising number of headbangers in this community. The continued success of channels like Family Jewels and Little V are proof of that. But in terms of electronic, well, considering where this medium came from, the affinity seems kind of obvious. There's just something about the way electronic feels that complements video games really well. It's exciting, it's impactful, it wakes you up, gets you pumped, and has a rhythm that keeps you going. And in my opinion, because of how well it works in this art form, video games have produced some of the best electronic ever made. So why not make a video to showcase some of my favorites? Because I'm vain like that. The rules are simple here. We're looking for synthetic instruments, bumpin' beats, and most importantly, dem bass drops, yo. If you could rave to it, it's on here. And don't worry, I will provide annotations at the end of every entry so you can listen to them without my gob flapping in the foreground. So hey, I'm Whatthefnu, and this is Team Pizza's Top 8 Electronic Game Tracks.
Number 8.
Now this is how you start a music list off right. Guitar Freaks was basically the arcade version of Guitar Hero years before Hero was even a concept, and part of the reason Konami were the kings of rhythm games back in the day. My, how times have changed. I haven't done nearly enough research into the subject yet to say if Guitar Freaks had one of the best soundtracks ever, but I will say it has one of the most consistent soundtracks ever. Not one tune in this game is boring. Every single track has top-notch instrumentation, catchy melodies, and a very defined personality. With a name like Guitar Freaks, though, you'd think this would be the last place you'd find some good electronic. But then you remember you're dealing with the musical wizards at Bemani, who can make anything possible. Hypnotica is not only one of the hardest songs in the game, but it's also one of the most interesting to listen to. It's so rare to get something that's this in your face and yet so catchy at the same time. It's very tightly controlled, yet incredibly unapologetic. This song's attitude is downright palpable, bringing to mind images of a concert in some dark warehouse at midnight, with strobe lights flashing overhead and the band playing from behind a wire fence on stage. It's alternative in all the right ways, and a punch to the eardrums your brain won't soon forget.
Number 7.
And I never really thought about it until lately, but fighting games can have some pretty incredible music. Capcom contracted OCR to remaster the soundtrack for Street Fighter II, Soul Calibur 2 has delivered some of the highest energy orchestral you'll ever hear, and at this point, I don't think saying Blaze Blue has a great OST is blowing anybody's mind. Tekken is another series where the music has been highly praised by fans. I personally don't see it, but anyone who grew up with these games swears by their soundtracks. It wasn't until Hall of Fate that I started to see the light, so by the time Tekken 6 came around, I was ready for something amazing. And boy, did Namco deliver. The build-up is what makes the Electric Fountain theme for me. The way this thing just keeps tightening and tightening until it explodes with energy about a minute and a half in is a very primal and easily understood thing, but man do they sell it. This is one of those tracks that just keeps getting better as it goes on, adding more instruments, changing up the melody, and even introducing some beautiful vocals, all without ever losing that precious energy. Every time I played through arcade mode, I was praying to get this stage. Every time I hopped online, I would use my vote for this stage. And when I was practicing in training mode to get a handle on my character, guess where I always went? This is exactly the kind of music I want to fight to. The fact that I can dance to it as well just makes it even better.
Number 6.
speaking of games music lovers need to play, who here has heard of Rez? This trippy little title is a masterclass in rhythm game design. The sound effects are designed in such a way as to blend into that level's backing track, and the enemy placement is designed to encourage you to trigger them in time with the beat so well that the music feels incomplete without these audio cues. Rez is what happens when technology meets talent, and the results are to this day unlike anything else on the market. And you can bet that with a team this good at their craft, they would know to save the best for last. Fear is the Mind Killer is the name of Area 5's track, and it blew my mind as a teenager. The mood and ambience it sets are incredibly powerful. The ways this piece transitions and evolves as the level goes on almost tells a story by itself, communicating all you need to know about what's going on more than the visuals and the small bits of text you get ever could. All I need to say is the journey will begin anew, and fans will immediately know what I'm talking about. This whole game is one big digital diamond of electronic art, and Fear is the Mind Killer was the perfect way to end it off.
Killer, the mind.
Number 5.
Oh hey, it's a Way Forward game.
Because who saw that one coming?
I'm so glad that Vert gets the kind of attention now that talent like his deserves. That man needs to be remembered by history the same way people remember Kazumi Totaka or David Wise. One listen to any of his work can convince you of that. That's because this man has a knack for making something memorable. His melodies are always bouncy and upbeat, lending a level of approachability to even his more intentionally dramatic pieces. Because of this, electronic just seems like a natural fit for the guy, and nowhere was that point made clearer than in Mighty Switch Force. Breakup Takedown and Whoa, I'm in Space Cuba are not only really fun names to say, but they are, as songs, pure electronic joy. They make retrying these stages over and over to beat the par times much more enjoyable than it has any right to be. And the one track that stands unmatched, even in this already prestigious club, is called Love You, Love You, Love. The melody here is so good, it's almost deceptive. It tricks you into not even noticing how well all the other parts of the tune complement it. From the super bouncy beat to the spacey and enchanting synthetic in the background. I could honestly listen to this song for days, picking apart all the little things that make it fun to listen to. And I guarantee you I wouldn't be bored for a second. And let's not forget the absolutely amazing vocal cover Adrisaurus did of it, which is also more than worth your time. Well done, Jake. Well done.
Number 4.
Yeah, I put a Flash game on here. Want to fight about it? I've argued before that it doesn't matter what format a game is made in. True talent will always find a way to create something amazing with the tools they've got. Treadmillosaurus Rex proves that point by being simple, fun, and making absolutely no sense. Including one of the best electronic songs ever made as the backing track helped too. Angel of Destiny rocks. It just rocks. It's corralled chaos at 176 beats per minute. This is what I think of when I think of people dancing like social standards no longer apply, swinging glow sticks so fast they could take off into the air any second. The rate at which it introduces new electronic instruments is blistering. You barely have time to get comfortable with one sound before another comes in and makes the whole thing even more awesome. And the crazy part is, this song knows how to pace itself. It backs off in the middle, both to let you catch your breath and to open you up to some wicked hooks. Angel of Destiny is one hell of a ride. If you asked me to come up with a song that would accompany a Tyrannosaurus Rex running on a treadmill, I honestly couldn't think of anything better than this.
Number 3.
Man, I just got done talking about Sonic After the sequel a few countdowns ago, and I still feel like I haven't said enough about it. Probably because I don't think I put into perspective just how unbelievably tight the OST is. The composers of this game are downright leaders in their field. Not only is every level's accompanying music good by itself, but as you move from area to area, the tune evolves and changes in ways that not only build on what you've already heard, but can potentially take the mood in a whole new direction to match the feeling of that particular stage. It's a type of atmosphere building through music that I've only seen done in games, and it has a very powerful effect. And none of them were more effective in that regard than the Foliage Forest boss and his tune, Radiance. Control is the word of the day with this one. Everything in this song is larger than life, but composed together in such a way as to make it smooth and listenable at the same time. That bass is so powerful it could tear the starry vault asunder and reveal the face of God, but it's used sparingly, keeping it from getting old or overwhelming. New elements come and go so seamlessly you don't even notice it half the time, yet each one has a profound impact on both the tone and pacing of the song. It basically does a lot of the things Angel of Destiny does, but the difference is Radiance makes it look effortless. Every element is used so well that it doesn't even need to try to impress. It's the smoothest song that'll ever blow your socks clean off, and it's just one part of why I still think this is the greatest fan game ever.
Number 2.
I'm trying to think of a situation in this universe or any other where something from Jet Set Radio wouldn't have been on this list somewhere. And aside from total nuclear annihilation leading to me ending up in Boston 200 years from now, I'm coming up empty. God, I want to play Fallout 4 right now. There's no way this is the nostalgia talking. Concept of Love is just too freaking good. I don't think there's another song out there that is this unabashedly awesome. It sinks its hooks into you early and never lets go, hitting you with one memorable audio cue after another. Nothing in this song is by accident. Every aspect of it was professionally handled. The pacing is as close to perfect as I've ever heard, taking you up and down through the action like an audio roller coaster. This is a song with set pieces, peak moments that you look forward to every time you hear it, actively rewarding repeat plays. There's a reason people remember Jet Set Radio so fondly, and Concept of Love is definitely one of mine.
It's number 1.
Guess who it is again? Come on, Bimani worked on more than just plastic guitars back in the day. They were bound to show up on this list again somewhere. But what might surprise you is that the best electronic they've ever produced comes from a game that we never even got here in the States. Poppin' Music is largely considered to be one of the most intense rhythm series out there, rivaling even DJ Hero in terms of difficulty, and it's all because of the, no joke, 9-button control scheme. Poppin' Music players are the full-spectrum warriors of rhythm games. If you can do this, you can handle pretty much anything. And one of the ultimate tests of the series is, no hyperbole, one of my favorite songs in all of video games. It's called Zeta. Well, actually, that's the name of the character attached to the song. I tried running the real title through Google Translate and, wow, that sure is a string of words I'm looking at. But I assure you, the name isn't what's important here. What makes me love Zeta so much is that it is everything. The variety of melodies and instrument choices in this tune touch on an incredibly wide field of tones and sounds, and even though it transitions between them almost instantly sometimes, it's never jarring. I'm honestly having a hard time explaining why that is, though, because I'm too close to this tune. I feel like I have an emotional connection to it, and the spectrum of emotions that could possibly be is so unbelievably vast that it's impossible to pin down which one is the culprit for my tied-up tongue. This song is a lullaby, it's a pump-up tune, it's fast, it's slow, it's calming, it's invigorating, it's beautiful and hectic, and everything in between except boring. It's anything you want it to be. And to me, it's simply beautiful. Hey everybody, thanks for watching the video this far. Not sure if you caught it, but I have done other countdowns on this channel before, like the top 8 video game developers, or the top 8 fan games, which I mentioned earlier. I also have a weekly rant series where I discuss various elements of game design and current goings-on in the industry, such as this one about luck and the proper place for RNG in a video game. We also have a gameplay channel if that's more your speed, and yes, new episodes of Psychonauts are coming, I promise. I just got really backed up there for a while. Also, don't look now, but I have a Facebook and Twitter full of all kinds of opinions on things. You can find links to those in the description. And right below them are links for the Team Pizza Facebook and Twitter accounts, where you can keep tabs on all of our company's exploits as a whole, not just mine. And as always, please be sure to subscribe so you can catch more countdowns like this one every single week. Which reminds me, some of you may be a little disappointed by the fact that I mentioned Bimani not once, but twice in this video without even alluding to their most popular franchise by far. Yeah, that's awfully weird, isn't it?